That's where we go. That's our go-to hospital.
Really? Uy, marami pala akong ano dito. Kunan ko nga mga
Marami kang
picture.
customer.
Without me knowing. Wow, thank you. You come here? You come to Cardinal?
Yes, for our annual routine checkup.
Yeah, because you're accredited. You're
Yes.
accredited. Philippine Airlines is
Yes.
Cardinal is accredited.
Yes.
Dr. Rena Chan.
Yes, that's where
Yeah.
I do my yearly checkup at Cardinal.
Really? When are you due? You tell me. I will assist you personally.
I'm very happy, as Chris said nga, no? Parang, basta, where you
Wow.
really feel safe. COVID or no COVID, feeling safe.
COVID or no COVID. But you're your accredited testing partner. If you
Yes.
fly Philippine Airlines and you need PCR testing or rapid testing, we are the accredited partner. One of the accredited partners.
Okay, we can start.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see everyone again. Welcome to the World of Discovery. This is the webinar series that Discovery Hospitality has been hosting since early April. For today, our title is Safe Space, Reimagining Familiar Experiences in the New Normal. But before we start, we have a few special panelists in this webinar series. I'd like to introduce Chris Yu, my co-moderator. Thank you very much, Chris, for joining me again.
Of course. Hi, Kathy. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
It's good to be here. Yeah.
So,
Would
Chris,
you like to talk about the episode, Kathy?
Yes, that's right. Please introduce our episode.
Yes, to all our viewers, today's episode is about safe space, no? And in today's pandemic, we've been asked to adapt to different ways of doing things, from work, wellness, and leisure. All these things have done a new face. And so companies around the world, across every industry, have had to adapt. Discovery Hospitality's new program, Safe Space, in partnership with Lysol Philippines, is an answer to these new needs. So we foresee a growing demand for an expanded sanctuary outside of home or even offices where guests can enjoy familiar experiences safely. Now, today, we will take a look at how we tend to define what a safe space is, the changes that the pandemic has brought on our attitude towards work habits and familiar experiences we look forward to recreating in the new normal. So, Kathy, would you like to introduce our guests?
Yes. So we start with the very young and talented Mr. Benji Mendoza. So Benji is the co-principal architect of Baad Studio, an emerging Filipino firm that won the Future Project of the Year award at the World Architecture Festival in 2018. Baad Studio focuses on creating purposeful architecture that seamlessly blends with its environment and responds to its context and works hand in hand with the Discovery family, of course, in designing new destinations. Hello, Benji.
Hi, good afternoon, Kathy, Chris.
Hi, Benj, Architect Benj. Yeah, my schoolmate. Oh, my proud
Yeah.
Xavier
Yes,
this year.
that's right.
Yeah.
And my my age group kami ni Architect Bench. Oh, very young but very accomplished.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Bench. Okay, our next guest is Dr. Marichu Catan. She's the Vice President and Head of Business Planning and Development Division at Cardinal Santos Medical Center. Cardinal Santos is Discovery Hospitality's partner in bringing you the Safe Care program, which allows you to meet with your doctor safely within Discovery hotels and avoid further exposure to other potential diseases. Welcome, Doctora.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Chris. Hi, Kathy, and to the rest of the panelists. Greetings of good health from Cardinal Santos Medical Center. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctora. And of course, Ms. Ria Domingo. Ms. Ria is the Vice President of Marketing for Philippine Airlines, the country's flagship carrier. She has been with PAL for over 30 years. I was telling her earlier, maybe she started at the age 18. overseeing many of the airline's exciting new developments over the past decade. Thank you very much, Ms. Ria.
Hello,
Thank you.
Kathy. Hello, Chris. Thank you for having me this afternoon. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Hi,
you.
everybody.
Buhay.
Mabuhay.
Our next guest is suki na natin to, Kathy.
Yes,
Si
of course.
Mr. Anton Diaz. He is the founder and digital creator behind Our Awesome Planet. Named one of the top 50 travel blogs around the world. The renowned travel blog has since expanded to cover other lifestyle interests, with Anton also specializing in business consulting, executive coaching, and digital marketing. So thank you again, Anton, for always accepting our invitation.
Yes, hi. Awesome afternoon to you guys, Chris and Kathy. And those people watching in the live stream or watching in the replay, good afternoon, guys.
Thank you, Anton. And of course, last but not the least, Erwin Lopez, our general manager in Discovery Shores Boracay, which is one of our award-winning resort properties in the beautiful Boracay, which is soon to open. Well, actually, Boracay is now open. Discovery Shores in particular is opening in October 17th. And of course, Erwin and the team is getting ready to open its doors. And once again, welcome all of you. Good afternoon, Erwin.
Hi, good afternoon, Kathy. Good afternoon, Sir Chris, and to all the panelists. And good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon, Erwin. Excited na kami to visit you there in Boracay.
Yeah, time to see Boracay again.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So just to go back to, before we start the very interesting question and answer portion, I just wanted to explain to our viewers what Safe Space is all about. Safe Space is basically a trailblazing initiative reimagining meeting, event, and celebration spaces and making them space in the time of global pandemic. This is basically a program that has been made possible in partnership with Lysol Philippines in helping us validate our safety protocols. We're very excited, and we have applied the different programs and training modules in terms of using safe space in terms of events, multi-space events, temporary offices, and as what we talked about earlier with Cardinal Santos, the Safe Care program. So, Chris, you want to start with the questions?
Yes. So today, just to give our viewers an idea of what we'll be talking about, we'll be talking about working spaces, work from home, or temporary office spaces or alternative office spaces. We'll be talking about hotel space, safe spaces. We'll be talking a little bit about travel, design, as well as some other events planning and other safe space related topics and that have to do with the new normal. So we have our very distinguished and a panel guests with us today who will be sharing with us some of their valuable insights, on the topics that are lined up. So let's start. So let's start talking about the work from home setup, or for some, but before we begin, maybe let's start with Ms. Ria. How has it been so far? Have you been going to the office? It looks like, from your backdrop, is that your office or is that your home? Is it a work from home arrangement, or are you guys already back to the office?
Actually, Chris, I'm in the bedroom at the moment. We've been working from home since March 16. Maybe I went to the office only for maybe around 4 times.
Wow.
So we were able to manage. Going. We had to adjust and adapt to this new normal of getting into Zoom, getting into
Right.
Teams, and luckily, thank God for technology, because
Yes.
we are able to continue with their work, no, continue engaging, communicating with the workforce. So there. So at first, it was kind of stressful because like me, pang comedy lang, I couldn't leave my laptop. Parang feeling ko, I have to be there all the time because somebody calls
Right.
via Teams or what, and I'm not there. But as the days went by, we were able to, to adjust, and now we're more relaxed doing all this high tech technology
Yeah.
communication with everybody.
Yeah, that's very true. I think sometimes this whole work from home setup can be more stressful or more tiring because you line up so many meetings one after the other, and it's like anytime you can be reached, no, and it could also be quite stressful to some people who
Yeah.
are not able to manage and plan their schedules properly.
Mhm.
Yeah. What about Benji? Um, if you've been working from home, uh, did you have to deal with some struggles, and what are the hurdles that you noticed that you've had to adjust? Being an architect yourself, I'm sure you had to redesign one room in your home, or I don't know.
Kathy, I guess what I can say is this is one of the best times of, I guess, of our lives. Of course, we're very sensitive and sad to those who are affected, but we're also thanking God that we're if you are safe, and if you are hit slightly lang, then you might see a silver lining to this situation. So
True.
we are, as a design company, we're very much digital, right? You know this. We present to you, and Chris and your entire team. We are very digital, and we work with most of our teams are millennials. So it's no issue having high tech equipment at home, but nevertheless we sent all the equipment at home, even their office chairs, and it took some time to start. Maybe the start of ECQ, we never stopped, so our production was pretty low. But when they got maybe a good table, and a nice view at home, able to set up with good internet, we were able to bring up our efficiency rate, and we were able to present to your team.
Yeah,
That's right.
Efficient
a
also.
quite impressive presentation, I have to
Yeah,
say.
so to answer that, we're happy not traveling the streets, not risking our staff. And we do have online construction meetings. So that's the only time that we do have to go and do a physical meeting. But we're planning not to come in to our office anytime within the year. So
Oh,
this
really?
work from home situation is really doing good. So maybe the earliest time that we'll be back in our physical office is maybe January. So,
Okay.
but we're
Depends.
upgrading our office system also to be able to function like a plug and play. No more desks, no more anything like that. So you've seen other countries like Australia that they all work from home in studio. So we're trying to do that live work balance already.
Okay. How about Anton? I don't know how much this whole setup has affected or changed the way you work, given the nature of your job. Did you used to have an office that you would go to outside of your home?
For us, we're always virtual naman ever since.
Mm-hmm.
We travel wherever we go, and we work there for all our teams. Most of our teams are content creators.
Okay.
So, okay naman. Siguro ang difference lang is we miss traveling na. I think a lot of people miss traveling
For sure.
for sure na, no?
Right.
Yeah.
You can see the images now of all travel in social media, and it's getting to December, and a lot of people are actually going out to connect with nature, no, and that's one of the things, but most of the time we actually work from home, of course, but syempre we pay attention to ergonomics na. Dati siguro hindi mo pinapansin yung ergonomics, no, but we pay attention to ergonomics, and then we have a home studio setup also. And
Mm.
but we go from time to time to Manila also to check out a lot of things, and yon. But
That's
hopefully we can travel and to Boracay and fly there. So hopefully soon.
yeah.
Soon talaga, soon. Well, I think we'll hear more later, and I think that uh, everyone who's listening in will soon have more confidence in travel, definitely. Dr. Katan, of course, we're very happy with our partnership with
Mm-hmm.
Cardinal Santos. And this really started with the whole concept of providing a safe space
Mm-hmm.
with for clients, for guests, and particularly with our safe care program with you.
Right.
It's really providing that safe meeting space with a doctor in Discovery Suites as our pilot project. Can you
Mm-hmm.
tell us how we came about this whole program?
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. The first 3 months of the pandemic was really scary for all of us, including us doctors, that
Yeah.
nobody really wanted to go to the hospital. But the hospital is one facility that should not close. We operate 24/7, 25/7. Otherwise, we would have patients not being able to see a doctor. So the first that what we did was to develop our platform for telemedicine, of
Mhm.
which we provided a platform for the patients to talk or do video conferencing or video call to their doctors. But through time, we thought there is really a need for a face-to-face consultation of between the patient and the doctors. So that's where our partnership with Discovery Suites came in, and we got into this partnership wherein Discovery Suites provided was so generous to provide us with an alternative space. The concept actually of the partnership with Discovery Suites was to provide an alternative space for our patients to see their doctors face to face if they are afraid or they have this um, reservations of coming to the hospital, go to the medical arts building to see their patient or to see their doctors rather. So this engagement was actually it's an alternative safe space for patients to see their doctors outside of Cardinal Santos Medical Center. And so far we had 8 patients, Kathy, 8 patients since we started the partnership. And we are growing like we have doctors signing in that they would like to see, they would like to participate in the program. Thank you.
Is Kathy there? She's frozen.
Yeah.
Kathy's frozen. Okay, I thought it was. Yeah. So thank you, Doctora.
Yes.
Yeah. Now let's. This question is to any of the guests, no, that are here. Anybody who'd like to answer. You most of you, if not all of you, said that you're working from home and you barely left the house since the lockdown. Well, has any of you started going out to meet with people? And if you do go out to meet with people for work or for social gatherings, where would you go, and what would make you feel like this place is safe for me and for the person I'm meeting with? What would be those qualities that you be, or those what would you be looking out for in choosing a venue? Anybody? Maybe Miss Ria, would you like
Yes,
to be the
so
first?
yeah, so Chris, at the beginning, I was paranoid, no, with going out, even going to the grocery, no, talagang I would really make sure that I had my mask, I had ano pa nga the disposable
PPE.
stuff, yeah,
Were you?
and then as time went by, I told myself, we have to overcome the fear, no, as long as
Mm.
you wear your mask, you have your face shield, when you get home you really wash your hands, and you have to be very conscious. Then I was able to relax. But now when
Mm-mm.
I go out to meet friends, I'd always say, let's have dinner or lunch, pero ang requirement ko open air, ha, kasi tama ba yon,
Okay.
doktora? Basta open
Yeah.
air.
Yes.
Okay, ayon. And then I've been to the office, I think, around 4 to 5 times, and they would laugh at me because I would always say, "Hey, we have to practice social distancing, ha." No,
Mm.
in a conference room, there should be really, ano, 2 meters apart, no?
Oh,
Because you know, you
tama. Yeah.
never be sure. So now, the way I view things now is as an individual, you have to be responsible. No,
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
be responsible for yourself and at the same time for the other people that you're interacting with.
Mm-mm-mm. So you have to just assume that everybody is positive and just do the proper social distancing, diba? And
Yes.
proper hygiene. No. How about Anton? Ikaw, when
Yes.
you choose a restaurant or a meeting place, no, what you
Yes.
be looking out for?
I think the first is we'll do a research in social media, no? So we'll stalk their social media if they talk about safety. Kasi it's very important, di ba? The brand, the restaurant talks about safety, talks about, keeping people safe. So if we see that in their Facebook, Instagram, I think that
Mm,
it's a safe place to go, no? And usually,
okay.
ang travel natin is point to point. And then we would look out for if there are some brands out there, we'll look out for, outdoor, of course.
Okay.
Pero kung walang outdoor, maybe high ceiling. Or some
Mm,
like high-end restaurants would do yung, my air filtration system, no? Na
correct.
they usually
Mm-hmm.
talk about it. So
HEPA
as long as
filter.
they have that, I think those places are safe to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and I guess it would help also if if you're indoors, medyo at least there's
Yeah.
you're properly spaced out nga, like what Ms. Ria
Correct.
said. The servers are
Yeah.
wearing the right PPEs as well, no.
Mm-hmm.
And tama, magandang insight yun that you have to feel safe and know that that brand is very particular and would take all the necessary precautionary measures to avoid such spread in the. Okay, sige.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to travel. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, did
No,
anybody wanna?
I was gonna ask if Erwin managed to share his
Ah,
preparations in terms
hindi
of
pa.
the resort
I was gonna
space.
go to him now that we're in a travel. We're talking about travel na.
That's right.
So, since we're talking about travel, and we're talking about choosing a safe destination, naturally one of the first things you choose is your hotel, no, where you and your family would or your friends would stay when you after choosing your destination. So, Erwin, what's it like in Discovery Shores Boracay? How have you been preparing to welcome your guests in your soon to open resort this October?
Yes, Sir Krista. Actually, the period of closure, the team really used the time to figure out, come up with plans that we can say that the resort will be a safe space for all of our guests. Um, it's a given that before, as a hotel or as a resort, I think all the properties would be doing the same. That there are certain safety or sanitation practices in place already, but given this COVID world, we had to amplify it. Uh, um, the use of UVC lights to disinfect the rooms could be one. Um, we started using electrostatic sprayers to disinfect. And the turnaround of the rooms itself. Before, we can easily do back-to-back rooms, but now we have to be a little bit more careful. We give at least a day to air out the room,
Okay.
prepare the room for the next guest. We have purchased an equipment that is it's a HEPA filter also. It's an air
Yeah.
purifier also, but it's backed by a laboratory test that would really show that it kills the viruses and the bacteria in the air. So it's really like what I've said. It's really an amplified procedure now. So yeah, talking about Boracay
Mm,
itself, the island, it opened last October 1 for the domestic travelers. And I took some time to walk around the island. And I would say that the community has done a good job. You can see people really disciplined following regulations. You can see places equipped with the proper
Mm.
setup, like for example, tables with barriers to prevent people from, when dining face to face, so on and so forth.
Okay, how about Erin with the checking in of guests and the restaurant and the resort? Um, has anything changed, or what has changed? I'm sure something has changed with the procedures.
Yeah, one major change is the approach to really push to make it contactless.
Mhm.
It may not be 100% yet throughout. Speaking of the procedures, because sometimes there are certain transactions, like people would really push to or would want to pay in cash, but we are um, encouraging the use
Yeah.
of technology. Uh, so, like for example, an example would be our menus. We really did cut on the printed menus and stuff like that. So it's all on QR codes. So
Mhm.
one just have to take a shot of that QR code, and they're prompted to see the restaurant's menu.
Mm. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. How about Kathleen, if I may see, let's ask Mrs. Ria, since we're in travel, how is it in the airline industry, specifically with Philippine Airlines? What has changed?
Since the pandemic started, no, and then when we started our repatriation flights, no, um, it's the first time that I saw, no, in my 31 years, the unprecedented adapt the quickest way that we were able to adapt, no, because from all the customer touch points, from the ticket offices, of course, we also had the barriers, the foot mask. Upon check-in, there are barriers also, because aside from protecting the passengers, we also have to protect our staff, no?
Yes.
And at the same time, also, as Erwin said, as much as possible, contactless. So we were promoting online check-in. So when they get to the airport, no, less transferring of whatever boarding pass already, no. And then when you get in flight, I'm proud to say that Philippine Airlines was, if I'm not mistaken, the second to have their crew wear the PPE on board.
Mm.
So there, we protected our crew right away because
Yeah.
of the flights. No, not only the crew but also the passengers. No, so
Mhm.
in flight there were also changes in our service method, given that less engagement now is needed with the passenger. But you know what's nice? We get comments, no, in via email and Facebook, that the passengers would say that even if our cabin crew were wearing the mask, they could see now and they could feel that they were still smiling while serving.
Mm. That's
Mhm.
nice.
And
Mm.
I can just imagine, it's no joke. Am I right, Doctora? The PPE, di ba, it's not comfortable.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
so
not.
parang I
Yeah.
can just imagine, no, how they are inside the plane, no, the way they continue pa rin to serve. And if you're talking about a US
It's
flight,
unaffordable. Yeah.
yeah, can you imagine more than 12 hours
16
you're
weeks,
having
16
your
hours.
PPE?
Mm.
Out there. So really the priority of the airline, Chris, was to ensure that we observe, no, all the
Mhm.
protocols that will give our passengers the
Yeah.
confidence that they are safe the minute
Mm-mm.
they enter a PAL facility, the ticket office, the airport, and most especially
Mm. I
the,
see. I see.
the aircraft. Yeah.
Nice. Is there a maximum capacity that's required only, or is there like spacing in between passengers inside the plane?
Okay, so in the beginning of the pandemic, when we had repatriation flights lang, hindi pa commercial
Mm-mm.
flights, no? Parang, so this was the number one concern. Parang, like, my God, how will PAL manage this? Because diba, parang there was panic. So people from the provinces, we had sweeper flights. So we brought them to Manila, brought them back to Australia, US, London, and wherever, no, New Zealand. So they were saying, my God, the plane was jam-packed. So how about social distancing? So we were explaining, no, that if you are inside the PAL plane, we have HEPA filters on board our aircraft. And I'm sure Doctora will agree with
Do you
me
have
that
negative pressure?
but,
Yeah.
but if you have HEPA filter inside the
Yeah.
aircraft, it's like you're
Mhm.
inside the operating room. Tama ba,
Right.
Doctora?
Yes, yes,
And
yes, yes,
the air is filtered, no, all
yes.
the time. So
Constant.
constantly. But you know, the sad reality nga, which I can't blame din naman our passengers if they don't read. Kasi sometimes, diba, if you're panicking na, you don't read na, diba? So,
Mhm.
yun. So, I'm just proud to say that all the PAL aircraft were equipped with HEPA filter. And to
Mm.
answer your question, Chris, how about yung maximum, minimum of the air of the passengers? It depends kasi on the country eh. Like si
Mhm.
Australia, meron lang siyang limited number of people that can enter them.
I
Ang
see.
Yes.
US, we were able to bring in a lot, no? Kasi nga, wala naman silang limit.
Okay, thank you, Gia.
Yeah. Can I just say something about what Miss Ria um, shared with us?
Sure.
What's admirable about the efforts also of Philippine Airlines, in the same manner that a lot of companies are also giving importance, is really the occupational safety and health standards that's being maintained. Because, of course, we're all running a business and we want to make sure that we communicate that we're doing everything for our
Yeah.
guests, for our clients, but at the same time we have to ensure everyone that we are also taking care of our own.
Mm.
And really through occupational these guidelines, and it's actually a law that's been heightened recently. OSH will really keep us reminded that we need to take care of our own people as well, to be able to continue to give our clients that smile behind the face mask, or that face
Age
barrier
thing. Yeah.
may have, right? And for sure, the Discovery Group shares that same goal with Philippine Airlines, that we have to have that connection despite the space and that distance, right? So
Yeah.
I think we can look at design factors naman, Chris.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah,
So we have an
Benji,
architect with us in here. Oh, see.
exactly.
Oh, Architect Bench. Now
Yes,
that with this whole pandemic, I'm sure you have some projects that are in the process of design, or
Yep.
new projects that are coming on board. Has there been any like changes in terms of design, and taking into consideration the this whole pandemic?
Yeah, sure, sure. Kathy, is it okay if I share some pictures?
Sure.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Sige, to answer that, Chris, I can show you our response to this situation. So there's three things that we have realized that we have been doing naman ever since, especially with the new projects of Discovery Group, is concentrating on well-being. Secondly, it's really being site sensitive with the environment. And then the building performance, talking about negative pressures. But technically, we have temporary adjustments definitely because of the social distancing when you talk about gathering spaces. But is it okay if I elaborate a little? I'll show you some
Yeah,
slides,
please.
and Chris, you can ask me anything, and I'll show you some. Since we are much into a situation, here are some homes that we've done that are highly work from home accepting spaces. For example, like this is a house
Wow, ganda
that
naman yan.
not using. Like this is a house in Antipolo where our client has been very happy staying at home lang. Having
Ah.
Oo nga naman.
Or-
Sino
You
ba
can stay there
alis
for
na
1
yan?
year.
I
I
will
won't
be happy
mind.
too.
I don't mind.
I stalked their Instagram. We're close friends already, and she would upload na good thing na cancel yung meeting ko and I'll stay home or things like those. And with this picture, this is a house that's not using any electricity at this time. So you can see how sustainable
Yeah.
the house is. But with this, our idea kasi is that the home is a new office, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
We have been thinking of that ever since. Na it will come a time that we're so connected that you don't have to be in your physical chair. So with this, your home, as a philosopher architect named Le Corbusier, he said that a house must be a machine for living, and that's true. A house must be a place where you can do anything that you want. So with this house, we actually built a house around the bird sanctuary that's so sensitive. Na it brings down your blood pressure, it relaxes you. It's called biophilia. A doctor would agree with me. It's a biophilic psychological effect of looking at nature and breathing.
You're one with it. You're
Yes,
one with
exactly.
nature. Yeah.
Yes, so it has been our mantra, our office mantra for a decade already since the start. So you can see how a house blends in and it
Yeah.
actually fades away. So this is a suburban situation. Pero how about a typical house in Makati, for example? Syempre, natural and artificial airflow is paramount. So you technically open your window, make sure there's negative pressure. If you're not using aircon, lalo na pag may bisita ka, you make sure na air is replaced every hour or maybe every 30 minutes to make sure.
Mm.
And you really have to have ventilation.
Mm.
The glass houses that's modern looking pero kulob, nagrereklamo tayo because it's so hot, it's wrongly placed, and
Mm.
also walang release of air eh. So
Mm.
before, ang issue natin is summer condition. Now, ang issue natin is infection. So it's really timely for this
Yeah.
sustainable design to accelerate at this time. And you can see how it should still look good and still looks soft. Pero it must perform. So in another house is the importance of natural light. Hindi ba we always put UV lighting or
Yeah.
ibibigay natin outside the grocery, things like those before it enters out. It's true because
Right.
the bacterial, I mean, they cannot survive our UV condition here in a tropical country. So the importance of natural light is paramount at this time. So this is a house that is so narrow
Mm.
in Quezon City where it's sitting on a plot where it's wall to wall, 7 meters wide. So imagine if you have that, it's almost impossible to have ventilation,
Yeah.
firewall to firewall, but we managed to create a light well where it brings down natural light a whole day. So, yeah, UV is very, very important also. Syempre, masusunog ka, but in this time of pandemic, it's more important to bring it in. And also, green has
Yeah.
been there since the 80s, right? Pero
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the Philippines, we use green for aesthetic value. Yes, that's true. Because when you look at green, the biophilia idea is it brings you back to nature, which
Mhm.
feel good. Parang sinasabi ni Erwin, we all miss Boracay. Same thing, pag pagod tayo, we go to Boracay or we go to Palawan to relax. So
Mm.
similar to having a plant beside your desk. You look at that plant, you see wood, you feel okay. So this has been
Vitamin
our
D.
designs. Yeah, and Kathy knows we're pushing this in the new Discovery project.
That's
If I
right.
can just share it, next time I'll share it. So you can see how a house sits in a city where it's breathing normally, but hindi mo alam inside it's flooded with UV or natural light. Actually, even ulan pumapasok. I hope that answers your question, Chris. But
Mm. Yeah.
moving naman, a few slides lang. How about public space architecture? Siyempre nakakatakot to go to public spaces now. Or even nakakatakot to go to mass, for example. And the aircon circulation of malls. So that's a big
Yeah.
question. Also for example, hotels. You always ask, ano bang provision na ginawa ninyo muna? So they have to read. But in terms of design, that must be innate ever since it must be like this. So for example, now I think it was Miss Ria was saying pati sa grocery extra ingat tayo things like that. So nauuso yung how do you go? Nauuso yung urban and backyard farming. Have you
Yeah.
seen in the social media? You know, my
Yeah.
wife and I, actually hindi ako, my wife has been doing backyard farming ever since in our balcony lang. Pero we designed this project ever since before, a concept where we might be able to do urban farming. And this was way back 2018. And we can put it in different cities so that a community can build a structure. Ito, very basic lang, murang structure lang. And the trellises is made out of gutters that collect the water na from the rain. And then it goes to, and it brings in morning and afternoon sun. And then it collect, if we have budget, depending on community, it puts in the solar panel. So technically ends up like a community farm. But it's in a city.
Mm.
So you don't have to go, you know, you don't, kung ano itanim mo, you can get it also. But because it's flooded with water also, so it's self-sustainable. And also solar panel, you know, the community, this is designed for the community to charge their phones
Mhm.
or even their equipment for free, depending on where community it's placed. So you have to give and you can get also. So this is a design we did 2000, way back 2018. And I think kami lang as a group, we have to push it further with the government. It was a private initiative also. And then
Nice.
last two ideas is future of civic spaces. Paano lang? And that idea was carried over. And this is a shrine that we're working on with the community. So ganun din, paano kung magkakasama tayo and 300 of people are together?
Yeah.
You need that, you know, that cabin negative pressure similar to an airplane, like what Miss Ria was mentioning also. It must have that negative pressure so that we don't rely in a building using aircon, artificial aircon, and then what you have fans.
Mm.
This one is you can see the diagram. You know, the hot air goes up because the wind pushes from the side. So the windows you can shut pag may bagyo, but they are still louvers. But you can open during the summer. So you're technically
Mm.
having cross breeze. You're welcoming cross breeze. So it's not an issue of course, for now, social distancing is important. But it
Yes.
will come a time na the social distancing will diminish and we get back to almost like how we were
Normal.
before.
Yeah.
But it doesn't neglect the idea that we must not plan for it in the future. So, you know, this is the primary designs that we have been doing, and I think must accelerate. And in the end, you get you know, a shrine that looks like it's breathing. It still looks like a house that is opening up to the, you know, to the community, and it's a familiar with light, but then not using so much energy and putting landscape in the middle. And lastly, paano pag large gathering spaces? So we have been in our studio, we have been doing a lot of Zoom meetings. O paano na? A lot of our new projects are, you know, hit by this new situation. So are we still good to go or do we revise it? So this is a, you know, this is convention center we designed last year for the government for private land. And it's technically convention center, a box. Pero normally, if you do a box like a building or a mall, it's highly artificial air. And then you boost that, and then you tend to spend so much energy. So ang mangyayari, matatakot yung mga tao. But if you do something like this, and what we've done here is to create natural vent for such a mammoth of a size of a building. And how do we do that? Is we create jalousie windows, vents from each side, and you can see we still have breathing always, no? Plants and trees inside to replenish the oxygen also. And UV, pasok pa rin yung UV. So any ano dyan, mamamatay talaga siya. So in the end, we put this Capiz of 5 million pieces of Capiz shells because this is in Capiz in Rojas City. So,
Okay.
so makita mo, kung gagana nga yung cross ventilation, itong lampara na to, this will move with the air. So you can see it's more safe also. And plus the sky, the magnitude of the skylight is in the end, it helps also the, you know, the communities losing the jobs in Capiz of building and using the natural shell that we have. So aside from promotion, in the end, they're gonna be proud to have such a lantern of a building that's very how do you go, very safe and healthy. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. That's
Nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Architect Bench. Very innovative and
Very
sustainable, and yeah,
Yeah, very timely.
timely also. Oh,
exactly.
Thank
You
you.
you mentioned about gatherings and special events, right? I wanted to direct this question to Erwin before we. I know Miss Ria has something to show in a few seconds, but Erwin, when it comes to gatherings and special celebrations within Discovery Shores Boracay, as everybody know, we are a venue in Boracay that a lot of special moments are celebrated. How are we addressing these requirements of our dear clients?
Well, we prepared for that, Kathy. No, one thing that we did is to really maximize the spaces that we have, so that I think it's going to be a trend because lately a lot of increase for small weddings have been coming in. Um, People are planning to settle down with a group of like say 10, 15, 20.
Very intimate.
Yeah, I think 50 is going to be a big event at this present time, no? So given that, there's a lot of spaces in the resort that we can make use of. We have big rooms for say, we, we have corporate clients or people who would want to travel and at the same time uh, work.
Mm.
People who would want to be away from the city, and then the kids would need to still go to school. There's a lot of spaces. That's one good thing about Shores. The room itself is very spacious. Plus the fact that at this present time, um, given the smaller or smaller groups, it's a lot easier to really manage. For example, you have say a couple who would want to dine in, but it's not so much comfortable sitting down together with all the people in your outlet. You can easily arrange a nice room. We call it a premier suite, which has a, a balcony and its own jacuzzi on it. So it's just a matter of being creative about the whole thing.
yeah. But Erwin, are you planning to have like long staying packages for people who prefer to stay for longer periods of time? Because I can imagine to go to Boracay and to have to do the PCR tests and spend
Yeah.
for that, for them and their families, and then the flight cost of the flights and everything else, no? Maybe they might want to stay longer, but are you? Is that something that you're trying to target also?
Yes, in fact, the sales group they're preparing or they have prepared a package for long-staying guests. Um, Again, we have anticipated the possibility of if the family would want to stay out of the city for say a week or more, and
Mm-mm.
we should be able to cater their requirements. Like the mga anaks, they would want to still have their own space. Like for example, I personally got an inquiry the other day. So the mom was asking, kasi my husband needs a space where he can work, and at the
Mm-mm.
same time, my daughter needs her own space.
For online class.
Yeah, kasi may online classes. Yeah. So that's the advantage of having a one bed, a two bed suite where
Mm.
the space is it can really accommodate that setup.
And the signature suites, I think, is very suitable for that.
Actually,
Diba?
yeah.
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 Signature
Question.
would have one bed suite and two bed
Yes.
signature seats. Yeah, very
Okay.
spacious. And plus the technology, I would say, like the Wi-Fi is not a problem in the island. It's very
Mm-mm.
strong. We also have
Yeah.
an IT person who can always assist in any case that they would need help setting up things.
Mm-mm. Great, great, great. I think Anton has a question. Anton?
Yeah. So sa Boracay, no, you just need the PCR test, tama? There's no quarantine requirements anymore as long the PCR test 3 days before, tama ba? Or
Yeah.
what's the requirement for discovery?
Yeah, actually, the local government requires now, Anton, 48 hours, nothing late, a 48-hour period, 6 extraction.
Mm,
Forecast it started 48 to 72, but when they released the latest executive order, it's for nothing more than 48 hours extraction period in the SIM. And then once you get your result, you will have to visit their website. They have a link wherein they have a declaration form,
yeah.
which the guest would have to accomplish. And then they will reply to you, which they really reply quickly because we have some bookings. And when asked, they said, it took like 15 minutes and we got back a reply from the LGU from the link that you sent. And then they will be giving you a QR code, of which that QR code will be your pass once you arrive in Caticlan going to the island.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's good to know.
So upon it's I think it's really a cooperation between the stakeholders, the private stakeholders, and the LGUs, and of course Department of Tourism, Department of Health. Uh,
Right.
it's we
But I guess
can
there's no kids pa, no? There's no kids. Kids are not allowed just for
Actually,
adults.
they're allowed. Tinanggal ng government yung
Oh, nice.
limit. The senior citizens can fly in, kids can
Mm,
fly in, and then 7 and below, they don't require anymore yung RT-PCR test.
yeah. Yeah.
So 48 hours,
yeah.
Erwin. Kaya ba yun ng Cardinal, Doktora? Kayang-kaya. Alam niyo na saan
Kaya,
pupunta.
kaya. Alam na kung kanino kayo pupunpuun,
Alam
sino
na.
tatawagan. Alam
Oo.
na. Of
Kasi not many
course.
can promise to have the results out within 48 hours, di ba?
Right, right, right.
Mm-mm.
At
Okay.
para Katam, maybe we can do a
Di ba?
tie-up.
Oo.
Oh,
we should.
yeah, of course. I'll call you right after, Erwin. Yeah, of course. We can partner. We would be happiest. We would be happiest.
Yeah, I'm sure
Sure.
the clients would like it as simple and have like a one-stop shop if they're gonna have a booking in
Right.
Discovery.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the account officer can already direct them directly
Right.
to someone from Cardinal to make the
Right.
necessary
Right.
arrangements, diba?
Sure.
That's
Sure.
right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So travel can we can jumpstart promoting travel, Anton. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So just to give Miss Ria the opportunity to show her presentation, Miss Ria, you were, of course, riding the plane is after making reservations, as an example, to Boracay, riding the plane is a major experience, right? What do you think? What are you experiencing in PAL? Are you getting a lot more questions? And
So, Kathy, allow me. I have a very short deck that I'd like to share with everybody. No, okay.
Yes,
So,
please.
yes, okay. Okay, so we've been talking about it this afternoon that this global pandemic has really changed our lives, no? And most especially, it has changed the way we think about travel. So we just like to share with you, that there has been studies that was done by IATA, and everybody's really saying that it's still very consistent. It's still the high concern about the safety, of the people who are planning to travel. So there's the stress about what's going to happen on board the aircraft, what's going to happen inside the airport terminal, and even because of the hotel destination. So I'd also like to share with you, we conducted our own study, in Philippine Airlines, with our customers and our Mabuhay Miles members. In the past, the number one concern of passengers was price and promo. Di ba? Yan ang ginagawa. Everybody, may promo ba? May promo. Then they'll start booking. Now, it has changed. Everybody now is checking about health and safety measures. So like what Anton said earlier, correct, no? Check the place, the restaurant, the venue. How are their protocols, no? Are there staff in PPEs? Is it safe, the ventilation and all that? So now also with the behavior of our passengers, it has changed. Health and safety measures. That's what they are looking for. So with all of this feedback, all the learnings that we have gathered from our customers and loyal Mabuhay Miles members. So as I mentioned earlier, we really need to build the confidence of the riding public, no? So we have this campaign now, safety and service from the heart. So new normal, but same heart. Philippine Airlines is here to stay serving you with the same heart that you know, no? Truly from the heart of the Filipino. So briefly, I'll just share with you, I mentioned earlier, the different touch points, no? From the discovery stage, we're in booking, check-in, pre-departure. Our lounges are still closed because it's still a directive of the NAIA administration, no? Because of we're trying to maintain social distancing. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, in flight, we really ensured, no, that the aircraft is safe for everybody. Aside from our cabin crew wearing the PPE, once you're inside the aircraft, you will see that our cabin crew they will always disinfect, no? Let's say a person goes to the restroom, the lavatory. After that person goes out, a cabin crew will enter and ensure that they will, clean it before another passenger can use it. And then we've also, as I mentioned earlier, we've also changed our serving standards, like with the food. So now our food now is it's securely packed, no? Kumbaga, it's now packed, unlike before when you serve it, no, the food is there, it's served one by one, no, especially in business class. But now it's all packed, no, para makita nila na it has been, it's really very for sanitation purposes. And then upon arrival, we ensure that the push carts are disinfected, no? And then even up to the transfer service. So what I'd like to share with you is the one-stop shop, no, that we have launched last July. So this is something wherein when the passengers, I'm sorry, Amir, I jumped. Sige, Amir, let's go first to the HEPA filter. I'm sorry, Amir. Sige, before we go to the one-stop shop, I just want to show this HEPA filter of PAL.
Okay.
Okay. So, Doctora, you will help me here, di ba, Doctora?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Si
really,
Benj can help us with the negative pressure there.
yes. So, to assure the passengers that once you enter a aircraft of Philippine Airlines, we have HEPA filters on board. So what does that mean? So the cabin air is frequently refreshed. So there's really circulation. And then hospital grade air filters. 99.99 of airborne viruses and bacteria. Am I right, Doctora? COVID.
Yes, yes.
Yay! And then there's the vertical airflow. So I was talking to Claire the other days. Claire and I were saying, if only everybody can be aware of this, then
Right.
when people travel, they'll feel secured, no?
Yeah.
They'll be confident, and this will help the travel industry. Get on the plane, go to Discovery Boracay, have a good time, go back to Manila, and you're COVID-free. And at the same time, you were able to relax. So there.
Get your swab at Cardinal
Get your
Santos.
PCR test first with
PCR with
me.
it.
Okay. Actually, that's my segue to Doctora. Because my next slide is our one-stop shop. Okay.
Yes.
So Philippine Airlines is very proud of this, no? Because you're all aware at the beginning, the government was controlling the entry of the number of passengers per day. So Philippine Airlines approached the government, no, because at this time it's really the help of the private sector also, no, helping the government on how we can, bring in more passengers, no. So
Mhm.
what we did, we offered that we will be doing a one-stop shop at our Terminal 2. So upon
Mhm.
the arrival of the passengers, there will be what we call this RT-PCR testing. And
They
then,
do the swap. Yeah.
yes, they do the swab there. And then you are also going to be brought to your hotel. Prior to your arrival in the Philippines, in Manila, hotels are already, there's a list of accredited hotels already. And I will again mention that Discovery Primea is the number one choice of most of our passengers, because we've been getting feedback that in Discovery Primea, they feel very safe. The hotel is so sanitized, and most of all, they feel
Mhm.
the heartfelt service. So I will
Mhm.
Wow
send you the
naman.
emails, para you know.
Thank you, Ria.
That's
That
it. So, and then
yeah,
after they do the swab test, they just go to the hotel and wait for it. No, so 24 to 48 hours. No, okay.
Right.
Next naman, if you want naman to travel within the Philippines, we also
Yes.
have the domestic one-stop shop, and here nakita niyo naman number one, Cardinal
Yes, thank
Santos.
you. We're accredited. We're an
Diba?
accredited testing center.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ria.
Yes, of course, Dr. Katan. So, different LGUs, they have also different requirements. No, so what's happening here? We're making it easier for our passengers. We have an
Mhm.
app for this, and we have also partnered with that different testing facilities. And of course, our favorite is Cardinal Santos Hospital.
Yay! Thank
So,
you, Ria. Yeah.
yes, so what I'm really sharing now with everybody is that as long as the travel industry, the airline, the hotels, the resorts, the hospitals, no, we all work together. I'm
Right.
sure we will be able to get the confidence of the path of the
Mm.
riding public, no, because we need to help the economy bounce back again, no, and we
Agree.
all know that
Mhm.
traveling connects the different islands of the Philippines. No, economic for our financial economic situation, we really need it. No, so again, as long as we help each other, and at the same time, as I mentioned earlier, we just have to be responsible by
Mhm.
wearing our face mask, our face shield, practicing social distancing, and of course, frequent hand hygiene. Then I believe we will all be able to go back. I'm sorry, I know we can't go back to the normal, but we can all adapt to our new normal. And
Yes.
we look forward to welcoming you on board soon. And we hope to
Mhm.
see you all in Discovery Boracay.
Yeah,
Hope
Let's
to
thank
all
have
go
you.
to
everyone.
Boracay.
Uh,
Question.
Yes, Anton. Okay.
And I have a question. So,
Yes,
when you're
Anton.
planning for travel now, ano ba yun? You can travel to all the destination and people need to check the municipality protocol. I understand, iba-iba pa rin, di ba? Iba may
Yes.
quarantine, iba wala.
Yeah.
So, is there a one-stop shop to look at all of these places? Or
Websites, they also have that, no, for updates on that.
so do you counter-check everything na lang pala?
Yes, every day we have to check because every day they release bulletins
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Uh,
Thank you, Miss Ria. That's
Yeah.
it makes me feel more confident now to start traveling again, and I hope that more people can
Yes.
be educated, no, with these measures that are being undertaken by the different uh, groups and stakeholders.
Mhm.
So yeah,
question for Miss Ria.
sige,
Siyempre,
Anton,
travel
go.
pa eh.
Oh, go ahead while we're here.
Of course, people can book travel, no, for December or for summer or for next year. Well, what do you think happened? What was the behavior now in booking? for travel.
Anton, recently we had a sale last September. No, we had a sale because
Yes.
we had to test the market. No, how they are
Mm.
going to feel about it, and the travel period is up to next year, pa, ha? Up to June.
Yeah.
Na,
Yes. Oh, kamusta yun?
But I would just like to share that we still need to build the confidence of the people
Yeah.
because they are still, parang because if they hear left and right na the COVID cases are increasing, etc., they're scared. But I
Yeah.
love what Dr. Katan said earlier. Things are looking brighter for us. So
Yes.
That's
hopefully,
important.
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah.
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 I think it's just really a
It's,
matter of time.
yeah.
On the other hand, if I may add to Miss Ria's insights, we recently had a hotel sale with in cooperation with our association in Hotel Sales and Marketing Association, right? And we
Mhm,
did an online sale for 2 weeks,
mhm,
and we were all very happy with it.
mhm,
And again, it is for future travel, so whether it be now or they're buying now because they intend to travel. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very encouraging for the industry. We really cannot lose hope, right? But it's a good sign that we can only go up from this constant challenge that we are facing. But if I may just add a little bit of information on Safe Space, the actual program that Discovery Hospitality has, and we are soon to launch this to the public. Actually, just like what Ria mentioned earlier, the one-stop shop concept is really, you know, it's that mindset of being a solutions provider, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things, one of the programs that we have established in Discovery Hospitality is this Safe Space program. So let me just give me a few seconds to just explain this further to the viewers what the program is all about. So we've started this Safe Space Disinfected by Lysol program, wherein we are training establishments on and sharing templates of policies and procedures and protocols on occupational safety and health initiatives focused on the management and control of the spread of COVID-19. So this is basically to ensure compliance to local regulatory requirements, as well as the labor code that puts emphasis on the role of OSH in the workplace safety. So here's what you can expect from the program. We basically provide an easy access to at least 10 learning modules, from personal hygiene all the way to surface sanitation, in a webinar format. So
Mm-hmm.
we've developed these programs, these training modules, because we believe that in discovery, the lack of knowledge is really the source of the unnecessary fear. And once you go through the videos, you will realize that you can continue with your lives and protect yourself from the dangers of the virus, and effectively. We fear that we don't understand, and these videos will validate to you that we can beat COVID-19. So you'll once you enroll in this program that we are launching, you will have access to posters with notices and reminders on proper hand washing,
Yeah.
using of PPEs, social distancing, etc. We'll teach you best practices with workspaces. As you know, we are a hotel group, and as what Erwin mentioned earlier, this is nothing new to us. We have always maintained hotel grade standards when it comes to sanitation. It has just been really amplified recently because of the pandemic. And this is our strength as a hotel group. So we are sharing this knowledge to the public. You can make use of, and of course, you will have access to the validation of these safety protocols through validation markers and signages on elevators, public spaces, restrooms, vehicles, and even counters. You can make use of templated safety video for online consumption as well, and even social media postcards. You can also join sales and partnership promotions and benefit from joint press releases and announcements. Um, it's a very simple, for small enterprises, may it be a small restaurant to a small hostel, an up and coming B&B, or a small hotel, wherever it may be. This is a one-stop shop for you to be able to assure your clients and your co-employees that you are adhering to the guidelines of the government when it comes to sanitation and occupational health. So we are sharing this knowledge through modules and through the digital platform. So if you have any questions, you can always write to us or message us in Facebook at Discovery Hospitality Corp, and in Instagram at discovery_hospitality. So it's I hope you can share the information. Anton, I'm sure you have a lot of friends who are in need of a fast track sort of training session. We are here to serve. And as what Miss Ria said earlier, it's really all about helping each other, sharing the
Right.
knowledge so that the fear is lessened,
Yeah.
and we can continue our lives living with this virus, which is unfortunately not going to go away in the next few months, right?
And I think
Can I?
we
Yeah.
really need to help each other kasi
Right.
that's the only way for us to boost the economy, and that's the learning of actually all the countries. The local economy
Exactly.
helping each other, the communities like this helping each other.
Can I add something to what Kathy said, Chris, if I
Yes,
may?
please. Of course, please go
Yeah,
ahead,
if
Doc.
I have to add something to Kathy's info a while ago, when we were starting the project, by the way, we were the first in all the hospitals to get into this project. We never really doubted. Although what, like others are saying, talaga magpapatingin ka sa hotel. It's a different concept. While we were pushing for patients to come back to the hospital, here we are also providing an alternative space through Discovery Suites that they can actually have a face-to-face consultation with the doctor. So we never really doubted. It's a niche market, but since fear is real, right, up to
Mhm.
this very time, parang marami pa ring takot. A lot of people are still scared to go back to the hospital, although rest assured that all the sanitation protocols are already observed in
Mhm.
Cardinal Santos, but there is still that market who would want to see or to seek consult with the doctors. So the partnership with Discoveries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Doc. And I can attest
Yeah.
to the what you mentioned about having all the sanitation and
Right.
protocols
Right.
in place in Cardinal Santos. Yeah, like I mentioned to you
Yes.
earlier, I was there a
Right.
few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and it felt very
Yeah.
safe,
Yeah.
and we were
Thank you.
very assured of our safety.
Thank you,
So
Chris.
congratulations there.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. And if I may add to what Ria said a while ago, as a commitment of the hospital industry, not only with Cardinal, specifically from us, that we will release the result the earliest possible time, the true and authentic results, because you've been hearing, like,
Yes, yes.
for people to be able to travel, they are able to produce results which are not authentic. That's why we just through also Philippine Airlines. So thank you, Ria, for mentioning Cardinal Santos Assure, trusted partner in your PCR testing. Like, we recently came up with a testing icon through our website, so that
Mm.
people from Philippine Airlines, I think before they have to board the airplane, they have to check and validate whether the results being shown at the airport is really
Mm,
authentic.
I see. I see.
So we
Okay.
really have to release those results. So your passengers, Ria, will not stay in the hotel. But of course, Kathy would like that if they stay longer. Like they stay longer in Discovery. Yeah,
Whoever
but
makes our clients happy, we are happy.
yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for the partnership. Thank you.
Of course, we're very pleased with all our partnerships. I mean, we
Yeah.
actually all of you are our partners
Hmm.
in our business. Benji works a lot with us for our future projects. Ria, of course, we have an upcoming tie-up with Philippine Airlines, of course, and
Oh.
Boracay's opening will jumpstart it. Of course, Dr. Catan, as mentioned, with Cardinal Santos, and Anton, of course. For how many years Anton has been our partner when it comes to promoting the lifestyle of travel and why it is part of life. It's not really something. It's already part of everyone's everyday habit, right? We have to travel. We have to explore. So we are thankful for all your dear partnerships, and we thank you for joining us in this webinar. Sorry about the glitch earlier. Chris, anything you'd like to add?
Nothing. I think I said it earlier. I'm happy that I also participated and listened to all the insights today from our guests. And like what I said, it makes me feel more confident now to travel. And I hope that this can, I mean, the information and the knowledge can be spread to more people so that it will lessen the anxiety
Yeah.
that's building up, in certain individuals, and we can slowly, start to explore again and to experience the world as it is.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Gotta
not just the
maintain
new,
safe
yeah.
Mm.
It's not just the new, but the better normal. Safer
That's
normal.
nice.
Yeah.
The new and
Yeah.
better normal.
The
Yeah.
new and better normal. Oh, Ria. Oh, the safer normal.
Safer
It's not only the new. Yes. And yeah, visiting the hospital is not as bad after all. You can ask Chris.
Yeah.
You're safe with us. You're safe with us. But
Great,
stay
thank
safe.
you.
Stay safe.
Yes, thank you. Kathy, any final words? And then let's
Well,
wrap it up.
if for the listeners or the ones who are watching, if you want to consult with us, you can always email us at homesafe@discoveryhospitality.com for any inquiries, or you can ask us questions via Instagram or Facebook, our Facebook page as well. Thank you very much again for all our panelists, Benji, Ria, Dr. Katan, Anton, Erwin. Good luck
Erwin.
in Boracay. We are dying to go to Boracay. We shall visit your safe space soon. Uh, Thank you very much again. And we hope to stay in touch with everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Kathy.
Thank you guys.
Everyone.
Take
Thank
care.
Thank
you.
you for having
Stay
us.
safe.
Bye. Thank
Bye
you.
Bye.
bye. Thank you so much. Bye bye.